What's good, everyone? It's Nigel here, Trinidad Empowerment Network. And today I want to talk about the Dragon's gas deal. Some of you may have heard of it, some of you may not, but it's of crucial importance to Trinidad. And my question is, could this deal cost Trinidad its relationship with the US under Trump presidency? We know, or you may have heard, that Trump has reimposed sanctions against the Venezuela and the Maduro government in Venezuela. So Trinidad is on a bit of a sticky wicket, for want of a better term. Do we move forward with the Dragon's gas deal, or do we risk losing 40% of our trade with America if we did so? This is a problem we face. We know that Stuart Young has recently met up with Marco Rubio, who is a US Foreign Secretary, and they are talking about this, or they are supposed to be talking about this Dragon's gas deal. So what is the Dragon's gas deal, for those who do not know? Now, Venezuela has discovered something like 4 trillion cubic feet of Gas in Venezuelan water. 4 trillion cubic feet of gas has been discovered in Venezuelan water. This 4 trillion cubic feet of gas is the equivalent of, in today's market, because gas prices go up and down, they fluctuate, as we know. In today's market, that is probably worth in the region of about 14 billion US dollars. So we're talking about a lot of money here. The Trinidad economy is valued at around 25 to 30 billion US. So 14 billion of gas reserves found in Venezuela is quite substantial. Now, Trinidad and the national gas company in Trinidad and Shell have managed to strike a deal to export the gas to Trinidad called the Dragon's gas deal. So that's essentially what the Dragon's gas deal is about. Now, the big problem with doing deals with Venezuela right now is the US kind of doesn't want that to happen. They've recently put sanctions on Venezuela again against the Maduro government. Just for the record, Maduro is the democratically elected leader of Venezuela, by the way. He's not an illegal president or leader. He is the democratically elected leader of that country. Now, you may agree or disagree with his stance. I'm sure lots of people in Venezuela do. Lots of people in America do. Trump certainly does. But he has been democratically elected by the people of Venezuela. Just to make that clear. The US has already reimposed sanctions on Venezuela's oil and gas, as I've previously said. Can't remember the name of the company that was exporting oil from Venezuela to America. Trump has put a stop to that. The company now requires, or he did not renew the license for them to export oil from Venezuela to America. So that meeting that Marco Rubio, the US Foreign Secretary, I believe, is about to have with Stuart Young is essentially the Prime Minister has to thread very, very carefully with how he speaks about the Dragon's gas deal, because of what I've already mentioned. It's going to take some skilled negotiations to get this through. My personal opinion is that the Dragon's gas deal is potentially dead for the foreseeable future, unless Trinidad makes a decision to go away from the US, to stop trading with the US, which would be significant, which would bring on all sorts of pains in Trinidad. Listen, this may happen anyway, right? Without the Dragon's Gas deal happening, the way Trump is going, and these all these sanctions he's putting on several countries, including Canada, Mexico, China, etc., etc. And those are huge. Those countries, not so much Mexico, but Canada and China, they could cope with the sanctions Trump puts on them. They've got massive economy. They could fight back. Trinidad is not in that position to fight back against sanctions potentially being put on them. So this is why I say this is a very, very sticky wicket. Excuse me. For the prime minister. He has to thread very carefully here with a volatile president in how we go about making this this deal if it was to go ahead. This deal, like I said to you, is worth a lot of money to the Trinidad economy. It will secure energy to Trinidad. Any country of any substantial value or holds a substantial economy in any way, shape, or form, energy is generally at the core of that country. So if we can secure the energy supplied to Trinidad for the next, say, 10, 15, 20 years, then that puts us in a very, very good position, especially as it pertains to the Trinidad economy. So you can see how difficult or potentially difficult this situation is. My prediction, like I said, honestly, I don't see the deal going anywhere, especially under the Trump presidency. Stuart Young and the government will have to thread carefully. I've said that 3 or 4 times now. Either way, I think either we back away from the deal or we risk a huge backlash from President Trump and the US government, essentially. I would say the deal is dead for now because we cannot risk falling out with our biggest trading partner, the US. And that's sadly the situation we're faced with at the minute. We are going to see a rise in migrants from Venezuela coming to Trinidad in the foreseeable future. That's my prediction, because things in Venezuela are only going to get harder because of the sanctions being placed on them by President Trump. And more migrants in Trinidad is not going to help the current situation that we're in, I do not believe. So none of this looks good. I'd like to know what you think. What should Trinidad do moving forward? Comment below. It's a very, very difficult one for any incoming prime minister. If Stuart Young remains as prime minister, or if we have the UNC come in, it's going to be a very, very difficult problem to face. I believe the UNC government has already said that they are going to quash the Dragon's Gas deal. But then that's just them talking nonsense as per usual. But in any case, let me know what you think. Should we go ahead with this Dragon's Gas deal? Should we squash it? I'd be interested to know what you think. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. For now, much love. Take care. God bless. Peace.